Such a tradition.
Speaking to the,
No pressure.
I mean, me and Shane are expecting. We are a little over 5 months, and we are excited. We don't know gender yet or anything, but we're thrilled. So I just wanted to share it with my library family, and that's it.
The extent to which we would go to get a new card holder.
Yeah, the baby Foster will be a card holder.
And picnic, library picnic, see what we do? Yeah. We just grow it. Okay. Well, we're so excited. We are just so excited for you. Everything is getting ready to change in our life.
So the parents around the room, I am new at this, in kindergarten, if you will. So if you have any good tips or anything, please let me know.
He or she will teach you how to do this.
Ooh. Okay.
The libraries.
The blind leading the blind.
Many librarians that would offer books. Okay. On sleep, schedule, all of that stuff. Okay. So let's go with approval of minutes. And I don't know if you've had an opportunity to read the September 17th minutes.
I mean, I read them, so move to approve.
Okay, have a motion for second to approve the minutes of the September 17th board meeting. Any questions, no corrections? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Now, is Tara all about? Somebody else is giving her report. You giving her report. I apologize.
No,
Okay.
yeah,
She said she was going to be on the phone. Is she on the phone?
I don't think so.
No.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
She's,
Okay.
yeah.
We just did that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Terry's here in spirit, and sends her warmest regards. But I think I've met everyone. But I'm Kyle Barber. I'm the interim assistant director for the main library, and so I have the honor of giving Terry's interim library director's board report. So I'm just going to go through this. If you have questions, I'll be happy to try to answer those. First, we have a new library board website. We want to do a special thanks to the shared systems team for creating this new library board website. If you have not seen it, we will send that out to you because it's a long URL that I don't want to read to you. But we can send that out after the meeting, and a lot of good work went into that. So that's exciting. On page 42 in your board packet today, we have a special report from our interlibrary loan department. Does everybody know what our interlibrary loan department is?
Tell us more about it.
I would love to tell you. So our interlibrary loan department, when a patron comes and they are looking for a specific book, a lot of times an older book, maybe something that is no longer in print. A lot of times it's things that are something that's very academic in nature. If we do not have that book in our collection, interlibrary loan is a partnership that we have with public libraries, college and academic libraries all across the country, that we will go to those partners and find the book, bring it here for our patron. They check it out from us, and then we return it back. And it's a totally free service that we offer our patrons, and that department does a lot of great work. And so we have some really interesting yearly statistics if you want to learn more about that. Page 42. All right, moving on. Library Card Sign-Up Month. On September 17th, Mayor O'Connell and nearly half of Metro's council members joined NPL for a pop-up photo booth to celebrate the power of a library card and to elevate NPL in the community. NPL also earned some heartwarming endorsements for this special month from author Kate DiCamillo, who was NPL's 2023 Literary Award honoree. Andrew Marianis, author of Strong Inside, and Lindsay Lynch, the author of Do Tell. They were also happy to read Margaret Rankel's piece in the New York Times about censorship and public libraries, which opened with NPL's I Read Man Books library card. We want to especially thank Andrea Fanta and the Marcom team for all of these contributions to elevate NPL's community presence. So that's great, right? Yes, Kyle. Okay, thank you, board. Celebrate Nashville, right? Celebrate Nashville. First, let me congratulate the NPL team for having a wonderful presence at the Celebrate Nashville Cultural Festival on October the 5th. The NECAT staff, along with the production services staff led by Larry Jerick, did a wonderful job participating in Celebrate Nashville. Linda Harrison served as a wonderful host for the event. She interviewed all of the festival's performing artists about how they came to Nashville. And several staff from the main library were at the festival to register participants for library cards and just talk about all of the great services and programs that NPL offers. Next, our continuous improvement plan. Nearly 200 employees at the library took the staff survey to have a voice in how NPL can improve customer service in 2025. Staff were asked to share feedback using the SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Then a special task force of library staff is working to organize and summarize all of those survey responses. Managers and assistant directors will soon meet to review all of this information, to identify common themes that emerged from the threats and weakness categories, and then brainstorm ideas for strategies. Once we finish that work, then the admin team will meet to try to identify 2 to 3 system-wide priorities for ways that we can improve customer service in 2025. I want to reemphasize that the Continuous Improvement Plan survey was dedicated to getting feedback and ideas about improving customer service. That was really our focus there. But we are planning a separate staff survey that will be dedicated to employee engagement sometime in the near future. So just wanted to make that distinction. And then the last thing that we wanted to just do a shout out about was our facilities. Work at the main library does continue. During this closure, staff that work at the main library have gone to different branches, as well as taking their programs out into the community. We continue our targeted timeline right now of reopening on October the 26th. Additionally, extensive roof repairs continue at the Pruitt branch, but we have some good news. We are tentatively set to reopen the Pruitt branch on October 22nd. It's been a long time since that location has been open. And that is all I have for a...
Susan, I have a question concerning the old Donaldson location. Any updates with that? What you're going to do with that facility?
No, not
Okay.
yet.
All
Metro knows that we would like to keep the building. We just don't know if NECAT's going to be there or if we'll repurpose it for something else.
Okay.
Also want to let you know that Terry is listening. She just can't talk.
Okay.
So she wanted me to make sure y'all knew that.
Okay, great.
Oh, she just texted good job.
Okay.
Hi,
No, she didn't. Don't put that in the report.
Thanks, Kyle.
Hi, Terry.
I do want to say that, we have board members with so many skills, and where they have skills, we put on I always like to say, you have to separate your board hat from your volunteer hat, because as board members, we're doing policy, but we can also help, as volunteers. And I want to thank Nadine for all of bringing her professional skills to help with this continuous improvement plan. And you want to say anything?
Yeah, no, I'm just proud of your all's work. I recognize that really. There we go. That getting feedback from the number of constituents that currently work within the system sometimes is very, very difficult to get everyone's buy-in. And so knowing that we are all trying to service our patrons the best that we can, but also understanding that there's that other layer of the staff experience, that there's another survey coming in to also meet the needs of staff members. It's just impeccable work, and I'm glad that we're not, allowing anything to really slow us down. And so I'm just very proud of the staff and, of your all's work.
We appreciate you too.
What was you said there were 200 responses? So what is that as a percentage of the
It's about half.
half?
About half.
Which statistically speaking, tongue twister, that is very good. Anything over 20+% is very, very good.
Okay.
Well, we'll wait what you identify as priorities. And wait to hear that. Thank you, Kyle.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Listening.
Thank you.
Do we have to text you good job? I could just
Please.
say, good
Yes, that would be
job.
great.
I could just say good job. Thank you so much. Sean.
Just a couple things from the foundation. We are getting ready for gala. It is around the corner. And thankfully that the building will be open and all of that. We're on schedule. You should have all received an invitation, but I'm going to pass them around in case you want another one to pass on to somebody else. But feel free. We probably have maybe 60 seats left to sell, so we're in good shape. And I know I've talked about it in the past, so I won't go into details of what to expect for that evening. But also, here are bookmarks for the public lecture. And so we'll pass these around. Take as many as you would like of that. We ask that you share that just with your community as well. The public lecture is at MLK. We currently have over 800 people who've registered for the public lecture. And this is before the library even sends out their email about it. So there seems to be great interest. MLK will hold 1,000, but because it's free, people do sign up and don't necessarily show up. So we will actually have room, or we'll extend it probably beyond 1,000 even. So all of that to say there's room. Please pass along information about the public lecture. And just a quick plug, when you're thinking of who to invite, you can invite anyone. But Mr. McBride is very interested in connecting with young people and feels very passionate about just teens, high school students, college students. And so we would love to be able to have a big showing of young people at the public lecture. And there will definitely be a big music component to all of the events, but specifically Saturday morning. So again, as you're thinking about who might be a good audience, just keep those things in mind. But I'm confident we will all enjoy it, even if you don't fit one of those demographics. The Library 101 tours will resume. We're doing those monthly, with Maine opening back up in a couple weeks. Normally we do them at 9:15 in the morning, which is sometimes hard for some people. Our November tour is going to be at 4:30 in the afternoon, November 6th. So that is for those who maybe are already working downtown or can get downtown easily. I know many people are trying to leave downtown before 4:30, but for those who are already downtown, it's a good opportunity to see the library. Our December one is in the afternoon, December 17th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So otherwise, we're going to go back to the 9:15, but just want you to know we're always looking to bring people in to come and learn more about what's happening at the library. And that's just a great resource for us to get to know people and figure out maybe how would they want to be involved, and what is a good, what of the vast things the library does resonates with them. And then the last thing, in the mail today, I don't know that it will hit your mailboxes today, but in the next couple days, you should receive an invitation for our Begin Bright Leadership event, which is focused on fundraising, but we would like the board, the library board, the foundation board, to be our guests there. And that is, like I said, it's specific for our largest donors who've already committed or who we are going to ask to commit. Governor Bredesen will be there, will give remarks. The president of the Dollywood Foundation, Jeff Conyers, will be there. John Ingram is one of our hosts. So it'll be, I think we're inviting 100, so it's small-ish. But would love for you all to be there. And like I said, you should get your invitation in the mail in the next day or two. And also just want to say, so many of the efforts that you've heard about Begin Bright have really been from the foundation. The library is working behind the scenes in terms of getting all of the pieces in play. In December, you will hear a report from the library side of things, and that will really be focused on essentially what's going to be coming early next year. Like I said, they've been spending this time doing all the behind the scenes things, and will begin the pilot rollout early next year. And so would love for you all, you'll be able to have a chance to learn more. I just don't want you to think fundraising is leading all of this. We're getting the money so that then starting early next year, the programmatic will really be able to come to fruition. So in December, you'll hear from probably Linda and Liz more about all the things they've been working on and what's going to roll out at the beginning of the year. That's it.
When is the event? When and where is the event?
It will be at Geodis Park, Tuesday, November 19th. And just in one of, I said it's a smaller group. We're not taking over the stadium. We're just going to be in one of their meeting spaces.
What's the time again?
Let me look for sure.
The library board meeting that day.
It's going to be a library day, 5:30, and remarks are going to be very brief. So it's not going to be something that we're going to necessarily keep you there a long time, but it's really just to kind of show the expanse of this, but also to thank those who've already committed very generously and to raise awareness from some other community leaders about this opportunity to get involved.
Is it proper for you to share with the board who's given and who hasn't, and what they've given or anything? I mean, if we're going to be there, we should thank these people.
Yes, that's a great idea. What I would love to do ahead of time, I can share who's going to be there, and then I can share who's given at what level. So I'll share that probably the week before. We have $4 million in requests out right now that we're hoping to hear back from before that event. So I'll give you the latest prior to that. And it's a great idea, and I appreciate as board members, you being able to say thank you to those who are in the room who have given so generously. But we're over halfway to our goal. So things are going really well. And we're anticipating hearing some more in the next couple weeks, even before the event. Jonas Park. Mm-hmm.
And you just need our help filling these 60 seats.
For the gala.
For the gala.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you have anybody that you want us to send an invite to, we're happy to do that. If there's anyone you really...
Anything like an email?
We have a digital invite?
Yes, send us a digital
Okay,
invite.
I can include that with the minutes, or do you want me just to send something?
I think send us when
Just
you can.
Okay, yep. We have that, so I can get that out to you all. Mm-hmm.
There are some people who, I'm thinking who can make an ask of their company to do it.
That's great.
They wouldn't mind doing it. They'll fill those 60 seats.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Sean, thank you. It's a lot. Helping to do the program. It's such this Begin Bright program is going to be so unique.
I can't wait for you to hear from Linda and Liz in December, because they have worked really hard. And
The fact that it's going to be endowed, that's what I'm so excited about. Because I realize the foundation, but there's so many great programs that then fall by the wayside. They got the grant, they did work, get all these accolades, but then the money runs out. Thank you. Okay. Old business, special collections.
Before we go to that, what's the date for reopening Main?
October
26th.
Saturday.
Okay.
Reopening.
Third time's the charm.
There you go.
You know, you actually took my opening line.
Try
You have to speak on the mic.
I approve. Whatever you're going to say, I'm in.
Are we?
You
Is
heard
it on
it,
the
Terry?
screen?
All right.
What page are we on? 67. Thank you.
All right. Okay, yeah, so third time's a charm. All right, so this is in relation to the Special Collections Division book donation form. So after much deliberation and back and forth, we decided to include more inclusive language that would represent this form when it comes to book donations for the Special Collections Division. So the part that needs your focus is the second paragraph, and I'll read it a little bit here. For special collections that require additional consideration, the Special Collections Division and the Director may bring a prospective donation to the Nashville Public Library Board of Trustees to receive their input. Before the donation is accepted, the final evaluation and determination will be made by the members of the Special Collections Division and the Director for the Nashville Public Library. So I think that's very concise, very straight to the point, depending upon what we may get before we induct it into the Special Collections Division for public use. So what do we think about that before we approve? What do we think about that? Do we like that?
Well, we took, the last time we took the notes. Terry took my notes and she had her notes. And so this is what we can.
Yeah.
I move we approve.
Have a motion on the floor?
Happy to second.
Second. For motion accepted, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. No more time. 3 times the charm. But
That
we
was
all-
too easy. I mean,
We learned.
Listen,
I feel bad, dude.
I'll be back when we have some more good news for you.
And we can't wait for you to come back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for all your hard work and for going back. You know, sometimes it takes us to get to where we want to go. Customer relations. Continuous improvement. We are excited to hear about the Looby branch. Overview, yes.
Well, hello again, everyone. As someone who can empathize with having to come back a couple times. Well, I got good news. I'm not talking about the statistical summary this time. I'm talking about the work we're getting to do here at the Looby branch. And I actually have a couple people I want to make sure that I point out. We have the former manager here, Aaron Piper. We have Kathy, who is the traveling children's librarian, who I'll be talking about in a moment, and Ambry Berryhill, who is the head of the community center, and my counterpart there. But this is also an interesting timeline for me because this is day 100 of me being in this role.
Oh, congratulations.
But that means we've been doing a lot of transition and finishing some of the initial projects, and I kind of want to talk about that first. One of the things we made sure that we did was improve our level of access and availability to the public. So Aaron had started the idea of making our computer classroom a publicly reservable space. Before, we only had this room, which has a capacity of 40, and our small conference room, teen room, which has a capacity of about 5. So this opened up, and you can see Matthew, who is one of our library associates, who does a lot of our really amazing classes and is our tech guru and is a goodness send for me. But we have 11 computers that are available, as well as an instructor computer to run any sort of computer series. One of the other things that we've got going on is we have improved connections with the community center and theater. Ambry and I meet once a month to talk about various issues that come up with the Looby Center. We've been able to be more collaborative. We've been able to know what the schedule is back and forth. Same with the theater. We know what's going on with it. As well as some of the other setup is making sure that Kathy has all of the resources that she needs in order to be able to properly advocate for the Looby Branch community. We have, 3 centers right now?
We have, yes, 3 centers.
3 centers, and I heard rumor there was working on a 4th. So we are able to be out with the grateful assistance of a traveling children's librarian into the Looby community, which makes our work a lot easier. People come here. We have 2 very successful story times, one on Monday and one on Wednesday, both encountering different age groups, which means we're starting to cover the gamut even more. Now,
So can I ask,
Absolutely.
where are the other centers? Maybe not, I don't want the address. I'm just saying, what kind of places do you have the other centers?
Kathy, do you want to speak to that?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about community centers, so I was going to say,
No,
I have that one. Hi, I'm Kathy. Thanks, John. I go to a couple of local neighborhood daycares, and then I also go to some preschools as well. Okay. Really anybody under 2nd grade I see, but I'm going to Head Starts, daycares, preschools, all over Nashville, which is pretty exciting.
And 3 of those are in
yes, and I'm going to start another one hopefully in November.
Okay, thank you.
I'm here just 1 day a week, by the way. So if I have 4 centers, I'm going somewhere every week that I'm here.
And this is why I wanted Kathy to be here today, because I knew Kathy could speak to it. Excellent. Any chance you get to hear the good work that Kathy's doing all across the system, I highly, highly recommend.
I have a follow-up.
Yeah.
How are those selected?
Well, I cold call. I usually send an email. I show up, knock on doors. When I drive down the street and I see a playground, I do a U-turn and go, hello, I am your friendly traveling librarian. So usually I'm starting with schools that Metro is not already serving. So I'm not really hitting the elementary schools unless it's a special event, a literacy night, or a back-to-school event, or a summer reading event. So usually I'm sticking with daycares, preschools, Head Starts. Some branches I'm seeing, so many. So East probably has, I could probably do outreach there every single day and see 5 schools a day. Looby's been a little harder, but I've been super excited. I'm also trying not to run into a problem of another branch's coverage. So if Bordeaux is currently seeing a school, then I want to go to a school that they've not reached out to before. So I'm just trying to increase our visibility. Thanks.
Thank you. And this makes it incredibly easy for me as a new manager to have all of this set up, all of these resources to be able to increase our coverage and increase our service area and what we're doing. So one of the first things that I did here was I made sure we expanded our availability hours. Aaron was doing the notary public appointments here. I also am a notary public, so we added hours for here. I did proctoring at my old location, Southeast, so I added proctoring availability here. I do the one-on-one tech helps. I do the job helps, making sure people have mentor resources. So we expanded those services as well. So we more than doubled the hours that we have available during the week. Matthew does the other half of them, and we are fairly consistently booked. People come in and ask for Matthew by name. There are people, we could get you at these hours, those aren't Matthew's hours. We know. So it's really good to have that availability of services. We've also expanded how we market our programs. We've increased our social media reach. We've come up with new flyers and different types of flyer formats, which is one of those small back-of-house things for us that makes it a lot easier for us to go to outreach events and have easier marketing displays. You can actually see on the wall here, we have flyers of different sizes for everything that we currently market. Also, I know Matthew has been doing a lot of training as well to increase the reach of the senior programming. That's been a bigger focus here. I know that there was a particular training that involves digital inclusion. Thank you, Marion, for nodding your head. Thank you. But that way we make sure we get more and more outreach with the services and resources we have here at NPL. We love our education and literacy department, which provides us a lot of good resources for us to be able to leverage a smaller location what we have. I'm doing this right side up. There we are. So we've already seen some of these initial investments pay off. Myself and Ambria have been brainstorming. We had on September 27th, the day that the remnants of the hurricane came through, our first senior bingo program. And we had 4 people who still showed up ready to play. So we already had that initial feedback and initial engagement, and it provides pooling of resources between us and the community center for us to be able to support what the community center is doing, and the community center is also finding ways to support us in our endeavors. So there's a huge collaboration effort that the 2 of us are going to work on that you're probably going to see more and more about, because that's been a focus of ours. Now, Once Upon a Time is one of our flagship programs here at the Looby location. The library associate here, Melissa, does a lot of good work with getting these very creative story expressions, partnering with the theater, and this will culminate in actual presentations out in, I think it's May is our initial schedule date for it. But we also have invested community partners, people who've worked with us for programming, who wanted to volunteer their time to help make sure these programs are successful. Having volunteers like that is immensely good for our small location and makes our work easier to just grow the impact of what we do. One of the other things is by increasing the community board space available, making sure this has the right configuration, we can make sure our available hours are as useful as possible so we can leverage the resources we have, leverage the time we have, which is always a little limited. So, where are we at? This is day 100. I plan on being here a little bit. So, what I want to consider us as is open to the opportunity. I try and make sure we find a way to say yes, we find a way to increase what we have, find out what we need, and shrink those coverage gaps as best as possible. And we want to work on being a better connected community hub. The Looby Center is one of the staple spaces if you look at parks data as well. You find that people are coming here looking for a space to be, and by being a connected community center, theater space, and library, we find we have a huge impact even though we're just a tier 1 location. That's all I have. Are there any questions that I can answer?
Looking at your visits here.
So the once upon a time,
17
oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying on page 17, looking at your September 23 as compared to 24 visits. You've gone up 43%.
I'm so sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was just saying that I was looking at your visits, September 23 as compared to 24. You've gone up for visits, circulation, all that.
I think almost every metric that Looby is measured on has gone up in the last year, and that is also a testament to the work that Aaron did while manager at this location. And it also helps that Ambria makes sure that people come over here just as much, which is great because we have Fridays in particular where there are passes that the after-school program has, and they come over, and we make sure that there's a space to be, a space to provide the enrichment, whether it's using our computers, looking at our books. We have programs that occur during that day. So we try and cover as much ground as we can with the resources we have.
I'm sorry.
43%, that's a good number.
That's what I say. That's good.
Once upon a time, I take it, if you've already said this, I apologize, but that's storytelling? Is that?
Yes, it's actually where the kids are the drivers of the stories themselves, rather than it being something that the teachers focus on. So the kids are the ones who are coming up with the great ideas.
And how does that relate to bringing books to life? Does do y'all get some benefit out of bringing books to life?
Do we leverage bringing books to life resources for that? I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
I believe Books to Life is a much younger group, isn't it?
Typically.
Okay. Oh, so this is a more school age
K
group.
through 8.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. This is just a reflection, and I don't know whether it's right or not, but going to these branches and hearing people, branch managers talk about what you're doing at your branches, it just strikes me that there's an appropriate amount of autonomy with branch managers to do different things based on the community that you're serving. And you all tell the board wherever you want the board to hear. I know that, but well, that's just the way it works. I've been on boards before. But it just seems like there's a lot of creativity and a lot of freedom to do different things based on what your community needs are. I think that's really good.
If you'll allow me to make comment on that, I think that's a testament to the great support structure we have. Aaron is now my manager. Aaron's a great guide for letting me know what ideas are worth pursuing, what the questions are, what the pitfalls are. So it's a great resource that I have. And then I have Jenna on top of that. So I've got multiple layers of support for whatever ideas that I want to try and pursue in this community. And I've got peers that I can reach out to. We have a really good creative group of branch managers that we're all trying to do the best for individual locations as well as system-wide. So because we have those different goals and mindsets, we find excellent opportunities to beg, borrow, and steal on occasion. But aside from that, we get to express our location in our way while also being open to the opportunity.
Great. Thank you.
How do you connect with the community center and the theater and all of that over here at Looby?
So that was, Aaron had done a lot of the legwork on making sure the contacts were made. So when I got here, I think my first day, I went over to the community center, and it was the one day that Ambria wasn't there. So we ended up playing phone tag for a week, but after that it was getting that conversation going, putting face to name, and then, okay, what are we wanting to do? How are we wanting to interact together? So it was a fairly quick handshake, actually, when I got here.
That's great. I was going to ask, who's been, not who necessarily, but the staff person who's been in this neighborhood the longest? You know what the long-term, is that you?
I think Melissa is the longest tenured at this
how
location.
is the neighborhood, because you talk about different flavors of each branch. How has this neighborhood changed, really? Because I'm seeing so many high-rises, and it's so different.
Looby actually has an interesting challenge at a large part of our closest area because we're right in the Buena Vista versus Buena Vista Heights area. So a lot of the Buena Vista area is Clarice Eppinger's at North. So I know that we help out when requested, but we're a commercial area with this metro center kind of space. But we have a lot of the local kids that come in. And we have 2 schools that are literally right there with the Looby Center campus. So there's a lot of little opportunities here and there. So our actual population coverage is relatively small, but we seem to be a travel to destination. So we get people who are coming in because we're on the way to work or on the way home. And that's where we start going, hey, while you're here, we still have all of these things that we can try and leverage. And our senior community in particular is around here and very, very active.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions?
Good, thanks.
Just thank you so much, John.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Cyber Seniors, Marion.
Good job.
Good afternoon.
It's been a long time since I've had the opportunity to speak to this group, and Terry told me 5 or 10 minutes, so I'm going to try to stick to that. I'm going to talk fast, but I love talking about what we do, so I'm going to try to control myself. She's trying to get my present. I've got 2. For the sake of those that I haven't talked to before, and also just a refresher for everyone else, I'm going to start by giving you an overview of what we do. And while they're getting my presentation up, I'll just tell you, we started out doing digital literacy classes with families with school-age children. We did that for a year, maybe a year and a half, with different projects here in Nashville. And then we decided that we're going to try this out with seniors. And we started out by having tech fairs with seniors, and the seniors were so excited to have somebody spend some time with them and show them technology and get to touch it and feel it. And when we started the classes, the response was tremendous. So for about 8 years now, we've been focused pretty much entirely on seniors. Okay. So in a nutshell, what we do is we try to help seniors learn to use technology to improve their lives the same way we all do, right? And they are really excited. I know we've seen a lot of tears, a lot of hugs, a lot of shouts. They really, really enjoy our program. Next slide. And to do that, we have to provide 5 different things for them. Of course, digital literacy training, so they learn how to use the technology. But we help them, if they're qualified, to find low-cost home internet access. Mostly we use Comcast because they have a $10 a month plan. When the ACP program was in force, we did a lot of ACP signups with the seniors. I'm so sad that program went away. We also have been very, very lucky that we've been provided with the funds through foundation efforts to purchase devices for the seniors. because they're all on fixed, the ones we work with are mostly on fixed incomes, and they can't afford devices. So we provide, if they complete the program, we provide a free device. And of course, we don't stop after the program ends. We continue to provide technical support. We have a technical support hotline that they can call, leave us a message if they're having a problem, and we go out and help them with whatever it is. And we also show them how to find relevant content on the internet. Just because you get on the internet does not mean you know how to find things that are relevant to you. So that's very important to us, that we help them find those things that they need in their lives. Next. And I just wanted to point out some of the benefits that they get that are non-technical include cognitive stimulation. They get reduced isolation. And I always tell this story. One lady had lived in one senior complex for, she said, about 8 years and didn't know her neighbors. But she learned and became friends with people in her complex because of the class that she came to. And we also, through technology, provide some easier access to the outside world. And, of course, we all know that was important during COVID. But our seniors knew how to do that during COVID. And it also provides easier access to health care and essential services that they need, like Medicare, and everything's online now, so they need to know how to access those services. And I just want to give you a brief look at some of our outcomes every year. These are self-reported outcomes. At the end of a program, we ask them how they feel, and these are the responses that we get. It's always nearly close to 100%. And I won't read those to you. Next slide, please. And I also wanted to quickly just show you the impact areas. This comes from the survey also. These are the areas that they say that they're going to use their new skills. And health information and services is always at the top of the list, followed by communicating with family and friends. I had one senior, I'll just tell the quick story. He said that he called his grandchildren every day after school to ask them about school. He says now he chats with his kids. He does a video chat with his grandkids every day, and now he can tell if they're lying to him. So, do I have another one on that one? Okay. So what I'm here to talk about today is our Cyber Seniors programs. We do about 5 different programs. Some we created ourselves, and some we adapted through our partnership with other organizations. Cyber Seniors is one that we adapted for us through a partnership with an organization called Cyber Seniors, and their mission is to bridge the digital divide, but also connect generations. And so our program is an intergenerational program that we do every summer. I wish we could do it all the time, but it involves teens, and we only have them during the summer when they're out of school. Okay. And so the first part of the program, the teens learn about what to expect when they're working with seniors. A lot of these teens have not spent time with grandparents. You know, families are all over the country now, so a lot of them don't have experience working with older adults. So we try to prepare them, and we give them exercises to help them understand, say, for example, a senior that has poor vision. That's what this one is about. We try to help them understand some of the obstacles that seniors have in learning technology. And at the end of the mentor training program, they get a certificate, and a picture, and they're all smiles and they're ready to go. And of course, at the end of our Cyberprint Senior Program every year, we have a big graduation celebration. And I hope that you guys, I want to give you notice well in advance next year. And I hope that you get a chance to come see one of the graduation celebrations. It's something to see if you haven't been there. And this year, Terry was our guest speaker. She spoke at the graduation over at Elizabeth Senior Center. One more, please. You see, it's a fancy event. And the seniors really feel good about it because they feel like they've really, accomplished something. That's how we want them to feel. So they'll keep using what they've learned, and they won't be afraid to learn more. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's all of the talking I'm going to do, and I have a video I want to show you. Every year I create a video that I show at the graduation, mostly for the audience to see the program in action. So that's what you're going to see this year's program.
I love team mentors. Yeah, I'm thinking around because I know that the people in the jail that we meet with, and now they got money for a team program, and they say they don't know how to use that telephone. Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, seeing that, I am in the technology field, and I tell my people all the time in Nashville State that technology, IT is a tool. Mm-hmm. Technology is a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. People that are usually afraid of IT, they usually put a SH in front of that, and it's not that world. But if you're not intimidated, you can enhance your lifestyle and make it better. So for you to take them from what I call an 8-track operation to an AI generation, I think that's phenomenal.
So we're working with a group of, I'm in Edge Hill, working with a group of, in the Edge Hill apartments there, and every year we ask them, what do they want? And we develop a list of things so if they do presentations. One of the things that they said is the seniors, not the other moms, they said they want to learn how to use their telephones, more.
Yes, and we
so
use...
how do you decide to expand or what?
We don't do a class specifically on telephones because everybody's phone is different. Yeah. But what we do is classes with tablets, and if you can use a tablet, you can figure out your phone because they work pretty much the same.
Okay.
Hey, Marion, where did the teenager mentors come from?
Yeah.
They come from Metro schools. Every year I send an announcement out to the schools about the job opening, and they apply.
Ah, okay.
And get paid.
We'll talk to you because they just started a teen program over in Edge Hill, and they got a grant for the.
We worked over in that area. That was one of the first places. Metro Development and Housing was our first partner. And so we've done all of the senior residences that they have and some of the mixed residences too.
Okay. We'll get you with Miss Marr to talk about it, because I think they meet on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
They have their own program going now, so we don't go over there very much.
Okay.
Lisa Booker,
Lisa.
she does Senior Tech Academy that we created with MDHA. It's called Senior Tech Academy, and she does that program with the seniors with MDHA now.
Okay.
But we work with MDHA for years.
Okay. Thank you.
We've been to just about every senior housing facility that's supported by HUD, and we particularly go to those residences because they're the ones who can't afford to pay for training. They can't afford to pay for devices, so we focus on those seniors. But what we did new this year, and we're expanding, is start doing our classes within libraries to catch those seniors who are not part of those other organizations or live in those facilities. We've been really successful at Bordeaux, Looby, and Madison. And we've got probably 8 to 10 scheduled for this coming year in the library branches. And Matthew here at Looby is sort of semi-joined our team. I kind of borrow him, I guess, our digital literacy team. He's joined so that he could learn to teach seniors here at Looby. And we have one other staff member at Richland Park who's also gone through the senior training program, so he's going to be teaching seniors at Richland Park.
Yeah, I was just going to say this is an amazing program, because given that our families are so transient, you're right, there is a huge gap, generational gap. Specifically with technology. I was just wondering, what are your all's greatest need given the landscape and the seniors you serve?
Money. Yeah. Sean will tell you that we always need money. We are out there trying to find money everywhere. So, because I want the seniors to have the devices, and money also pays for some of our part-time instructors too. We get grants to help us pay for the trainers.
What is WEHF up there? On your funding line? The foundation is...
West End Home Foundation.
Oh, okay.
They're our longest funder. They've been funding us for years.
Right.
Wow.
Okay. Good.
But we've received funding from Google Fiber, Comcast. Help me, Sean. Over the years, we've Truist Bank.
And I think one of the expansions, when you say what do you need, is they have been focusing on senior living centers, but have been able to take it into some of the branches, which that expansion allows for kind of anybody to be able to have access to it. And it seems like the demand is much higher than what the team is able to.
Yeah, and what we were able to do. So we've got some other grants out there in the works that we're waiting to hear back from. Because once we did a class at Madison and Bordeaux in particular, those two, it was so popular we had to start a waiting list.
Oh, wow.
And so we could do it again. So, yeah, there are lots of seniors out there that are interested in our programming.
Marion, thank you so much. Thank you.
That's great. You're doing great work.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So Kyle Cook is here to do the SEIU update.
Thank you, Chair Cersei and Assistant Director Barber, for having given me this opportunity to talk to you about some updates about who we are as a union and what our members have accomplished together. Currently, over half of the frontline library staff are union members, 190. Because of our size and our membership engagement, we have now been able to elect our own department union leadership team. And I'd like to mention them since they've just started on Labor Day. They represent a variety of gender expressions, ethnicities, and class identities, and they have been democratically elected by our library membership. I'm Kyle Cook. I'm the lead steward, so I'm not appearing to you today as Kyle Cook, the library employee. My assistant lead steward is Katie Searcy, and stewards Nikki Glassley, Andrew Palmer, Sade Johnson, Frida Miguel, and Lauren Hampton. And we pledge to bring you the perspective of the frontline workers, even when some of those stories may challenge the membership point of view. Management point of view. We do that by joining in a quarterly labor management meeting between the stewards and the administration. And in these discussions, the expectation is to talk about us as equal stakeholders in our workplace. So outside our union role, we work for the managers and the board. But as stewards, we come to this particular meeting as equals, as outlined in our MOU with Metro. So these meetings, they're intended to equalize the power differential that exists between bosses and the subordinates that we have in our daily workplace. And so the expectation is that these meetings and the outcomes are treated with as much respect as any other management meeting that we'd have. So these meetings don't stop at the library. We also meet with the mayor's office. Me and Nikki Glassley attend the labor management meetings with the mayor's office and Metro HR quarterly. And these meetings allow union members to get to know our city leaders and our city leaders to get to know what it's like to work in Metro and what their lives are like. And so that when budget time rolls around, they know what the stakes are for us as employees and people who work and live in Nashville. So last June, in the conversations with our mayor and our council members and the foundation, we helped win the critical funding for the library building repair and expansion. And many library union members attended these meetings. And again, we won a 4% cost of living adjustment and a $20 minimum wage. So as we go into this next budget season, our union will be taking our staff and our city, we'll be talking to our staff and our city leaders, and we're always advocating for a better workplace and community. I'm happy to report a resolution to the issue of pay inequity I brought up to you in April at this library associate level. We are pleased to share that the city and the library human resources department met the challenge that we outlined, and they've combined the library associate and the program specialist into one position, and this no longer creates the disparities we saw last year that came out of last year's pay plan, since those roles do the same work. And so now they're all one position. And compression is a bigger issue across the city, but in this instance, we're very pleased with the outcome. Going forward, our primary objectives are advocating for more equitable workplace for all, especially protecting the labor rights for employees who are BIPOC or LGBTQIA, for our staff with physical disabilities or neurodivergence who have been incarcerated or experienced poverty. Conflicts in our country and abroad affect how our staff are treated by our patrons, our fellow workers, and their employers. And we support all our staff here affected by the tragedies in Ukraine, Gaza, and Sudan. Our staff have lost family and homes as a result of these, so we stand with them. We feel this public library system succeeds best when its workers have a safe workplace, free from hate, harassment, discrimination, and when our workers are treated fairly and compensated with a living wage, when we have opportunities to grow into experts and professionals and leaders. This is our priority and our mission, to promote and protect workers of all backgrounds. In closing, we believe our request to share and broadcast these board meetings has empowered our staff. They hear directly about decisions made about their organization, and we thank you for giving the union a chance to tell you what we've been up to, and I look forward to reporting to you our progress again.
Thank you, Cal. Any questions for Cal?
You confront, you talked about divisiveness and hate and all that seems to be rampant in our world now. How much, dear frontline people, how much are you seeing of that? How much do you have to confront of that kind of thing from patrons, from customers?
I don't know that I could quantify it. I mean, more than I would like to see. I'm glad that our staff are comfortable talking to our union stewards when they do have those encounters, or when they don't, things aren't going well for them as a result of like you said, some of the incidents that happen where the community doesn't like who they look like or who they are. Yeah, more than I like.
I'm curious. How's your relationship like with the HR department? Do y'all meet on a weekly basis? Do y'all go over policies that are fair for the people? I mean, how is that workflow?
The workflows, we do have a standing quarterly meeting with the HR and the administration are in that meeting. And then as far as when individual issues come up, the staff can request that the union come to any meeting that they wish to have us be the representative for the power differential, like I mentioned. So I think we have a very good working relationship. We communicate very often by phone and email with Sherry Adams, and anything that doesn't get covered, we cover in that quarterly meeting.
I had a quick question. Yeah, how do you capture comprehensively? You said how many staff members are a part of this?
190. Our union, it's optional to join and pay dues.
How do you capture the state of their experiences? Is there a survey that you all send out? Like, is it just based on topics or incidents that occur in isolation to one another? Like, how do you gauge 190 people's experience in the workplace?
I mean, that's a challenge, as you know, as you've been talking about with the survey.
Yeah.
And so we do surveys as well, especially at the metro level, because we're part of a larger metro union. So we survey all of our metro union members. And as far as the library, we do have 7 stewards now, which I think has made it a lot easier to access us. For a long time, it was 1 or 2, and you probably didn't know who they were. So it's nice that we're in a lot of different locations and they can come talk to us individually. But then I think capturing the mood of the whole library staff, I mean, that's tricky. I mean, I'm in conversation with folks every day, and
I know that I'm prematurely putting things out there, but I do know, given the staff engagement survey that's going to be designed, I'm sure that's going to be in partnership with HR and guidelines and things of that nature. I'm just wondering what opportunities exist to find some synergy in your goals, and what MPL, is also doing, so that there's greater synergy across the board. I'm throwing that out there. I know that Terry can hear me, but I think that could be a great opportunity.
That sounds great. Thank you for offering, and we'd be happy to assist.
In any organization, I know that there's always room for improvement, but I'm just wondering how much discrimination do the employees encounter from customers?
I would say a fair amount, unfortunately.
And do people feel comfortable reporting it? Where does that go? Tell us about the...
Right. I mean, I think normally the process is that those incidents go to the managers or HR, but sometimes those avenues aren't as great as they'd like them to be, and that's kind of where I come in and help them advocate. And there's lots of different partners in the community and in the city government that we have access to. So if something doesn't go well between, because the conflicts are often between the manager and the staff person, so it's they don't really want to
talk about
it with their manager. So it's delicate, but it's like I said, that's our mission, is to try to address that discrimination when it happens. That's why I volunteer to do this.
And you know, oftentimes when people can't be themselves at work, it creates mental health.
Absolutely.
issues. So how is our insurance? Does our insurance cover? People can talk to somebody, to deal with.
We have an employee
resulting mental health
EPA program, but depending on what health insurance coverage you have, there's also mental health coverage or private sessions.
Any other questions? Well, I know we often would turn a topic inside out, but I think that's the result of being a diverse board. I think it would be very boring if we were all the same sitting here. We can turn a topic, and ask a lot of questions, but that's the fun of it, because then we get that. We always, I think, can come up with the best. And I think that's what we have experienced, from this board over and over again. We don't just this is not a yes board. You can tell that. This is not a yes board. It's hard. That's harder. But we often come out with, I think, what we feel is best. And just thank you so much for coming today to do this. Any other questions, comments? So our next meeting, official meeting, is December the 10th. But we do have, I think, the work session that we're trying to do. I think some of that will be HR to help us understand the positions and how people get from one to another. There are a lot of questions. I think we always trying to study ourselves so that we can learn more and more about the library, because all of it affects us in the policy realm. So I will entertain a motion for adjournment. No second needed. Thank you. We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for your time today.